Gangneung, South Korea. At a figure skating competition in Moscow last October, Yuzuru Hanyu was told that he resembled to some a heroic character, delicate but fierce, from the Japanese tradition of anime. He did not see himself that way, the slender, long-legged Hanyu said in an interview, his hair flopping over one eyebrow. But with a smile, he added, "I like to win with some drama." He could have had no idea how much drama lay ahead. Less than 3 weeks later, Hanyu sustained ligament damage to his right ankle while rehearsing a difficult 4-revolution jump. Nearly 4 months elapsed before he could compete again, here at the Winter Olympics, but he showed little erosion of skill or victorious determination from the layoff. Skating on Saturday, Hanyu, 23, did not perform flawlessly before what was essentially a home crowd, in an arena where fans waved dozens of Japanese flags. But he displayed sufficient stamina, jumping ability, elastic spins and ethereal grace to win a second consecutive gold medal, becoming the first men's repeat Olympic champion since Dick Button of the United States in 1948 and 1952. The ankle is not completely healed, and Hanyu said he worried at times before the games whether he would be able to skate again. But the injured joint held up enough to support another winning performance, with 317.85 points. Afterward, Hanyu said playfully, "I'd like to thank my ankle, you did a good job." He prevailed with a strategy of restraint, avoiding the riskiest quadruple jumps in his 4.5-minute routine and relying on the completeness of his ability. His countryman, Shoma Uno, 20, took the silver medal with 306.90 points. And Javier Fernandez, 26, a training partner of Hanyu's, won Spain's first Olympic skating medal, taking bronze with 305.24 points. Even though Nathan Chen of the United States, who was among the early favorites, did not reach the medal podium, he did find some measure of redemptive satisfaction and perhaps some sting of regret with a performance of audacious ambition that brought him 5th place overall. Vincent Zhou of the United States finished 6th, and Adam Rippon, also of the United States, was 10th. With nothing to lose after finishing a disastrous 17th in Friday's short program, Chen became the first Olympian to land 5 quadruple jumps cleanly in a routine and actually attempted 6, but he put his hands to the ice on a quad flip. He still won the free skate. He made the decision to attempt 6 quads on Friday night, after the short program. Relieved of expectation and feeling just an anger, he told himself, "I'll just go for it." "I definitely did want to redeem myself after the 2 short programs that I did here," Chen said in reference to his mistake-filled performances in the team and singles competition. He added, "As much as I tried to deny it, I felt the pressure a lot before the short program, especially thinking about scores and placement and all that. And that was completely out of my control. That just tightened me up and made me really cautious on the ice. I just had to completely forget about expectations and allow myself to be myself." By contrast, Hanyu was every bit himself in both the Olympic short and long program, unhurried, resolute, staking a claim to be the greatest skater ever with his speed, artistry, coverage of the ice and technical skill. Reached by telephone in New York, Button said of Hanyu, "I think he's beautiful, he moves like a dream." Wearing a white tunic on Saturday, Hanyu performed as a character out of Japanese folklore, Abe no Sime, a spiritual advisor and astrologer from the 11th century with Merlin-like mystical powers. He received 1 perfect score of 10 for musical interpretation and 2 tens for the design of his program. Hanyu can appear so relaxed on the ice that Julian Yi, a Malaysian skater, said he looks like he wakes up from bed and goes and jumps. On November 9, though, Hanyu's Olympic chances grew uncertain, when he landed awkwardly while rehearsing a quad lutz before a competition in Japan. It is the most difficult of the 4 revolution jumps currently being performed. Hanyu was trying to perfect the lutz, in part, to match Chen's magnificent jumping ability. But Hanyu's legs pretzeled upon landing the jump. He would not be able to train again on the ice for about 2 months. As he recovered, he rehearsed the jumps on the floor of his training center in Toronto and used visualization techniques to imagine himself completing the maneuvers in competition. My strength is, I'm able to really analyze myself and have that image and try to match that with the physical skating, Hanyu said Saturday. He arrived at the Olympics, having been able to practice his triple axel for only about 3 weeks and his quad jumps for 2 weeks. He avoided the risky quad lutz at these games, performing instead 2 quad salchovs and 2 quad toe loops, which are considered easier and more reliable, in his long program. In the end, the injury could be the best thing that ever happened for Hanyu, said Jackie Wong, a prominent blogger from New York who is a former skater and skating judge and who is covering the Olympics. He wasn't going for unnecessary difficulty. Hanyu disregarded any talk about being the greatest ever in his sport, saying, "I'm not the best skater." But others were not so reluctant. If you want him to be, you wouldn't be wrong, said Kurt Browning of Canada, a 4-time world champion in the late 1980s and early 1990s. Why not? He's everything. He's the skater, he's the jumper, but quintessentially, he's the performer. He seems to have the superpower to take all the pressure, all the expectations and all the lights and all the cameras, and somehow he's able to use it as a competitor. Here's how the free skate played out. Paul Fentz of Germany had a heavily themed Game of Thrones routine. He skated to the dramatic music from the television show's soundtrack, and was dressed in a shirt designed to look like armor. He wore 1 gold glove, perhaps reminding some viewers of Jaime Lannister, who has a metal hand. But the judges did not seem to agree that winter is coming, and put him in 3rd place of the 3 skaters who have gone. With the 6 lesser lights of the 24 competitors having skated, Keiji Tanaka of Japan is the early leader, helped by a quad salchov at the top of his program. The second group of 6 will include Nathan Chen of the United States, who disappointed badly in his short program, but has a daring 5 quad program to try to make up ground. Alexei Bichenko of Israel, the first skater of the second group, gave a strong performance that moved him into the lead. Bichenko, skating to music from the opera Pagliacci, hit both his quads and fell to his knees with joy at the end of the performance. Nathan Chen, who bombed his short program and stood in only 17th place, hoped to make up ground with a daring 5 quad performance. But he did not land 5 quads. He threw in 1 more and landed 6. Chen, 18, performed a quad lutz, flip combination, flip, toe loop combination, toe loop, and salchov. The quad toe loop triple toe loop combo scored a huge 17.63 points by itself. Chen also did well on the more subjective judging elements, getting over 9 for performance. He takes a big lead over the other early skaters, by a full 40 points. It was a redemptive and audaciously ambitious performance. Chen became the first Olympian to land 5 quadruple jumps cleanly in a routine and actually attempted 6, but put his hands to the ice on the quad flip. His score of 297.35 could put him in medal contention if the leaders struggle later. Brendan Carey of Australia has had some of the more intriguing musical choices of the event. In the short program he skated to an eerie cover of Everybody Wants to Rule the World. For the free skate he chose a Pink Floyd medley, including Shine On You, Crazy Diamond and Money. But his performance wasn't quite up to snuff and he bailed out of his quads. That concluded the second group of 6 skaters. 12 to go. Chen still leads by 40 points. The Olympics are at their heart, a sports competition, but no one has had more fun here than Keegan Messing of Canada, who entertained the crowd with a Charlie Chaplin routine on Saturday after skating to Singan in the rain on Friday. He is unapologetic about being a showman as much as a competitor. I just feel like I can bring the crowd in, it makes my skating so much more fun for me, he said. Messing also hit 2 quads and moved into 3rd place. Leader Nathan Chen spoke after his amazing program. Having such a rough short program allowed me to just forget about expectations and just allow myself to really enjoy myself, Chen said. I think 6 quads was almost a game time decision. I knew at that point that I had literally nothing to lose. As much as I tried to deny it, I felt the pressure a lot before the short program, especially thinking about scores and placement and all that. And that was completely out of my control. That just tightened me up and made me really cautious on the ice. Vincent Zhou, 17, exceeded expectations in his short program, placing 12th. And he rolled out an ambitious 5-quad free skate. And like his countryman Nathan Chen, he delivered. In skating's complicated scoring system, Zhou was credited with 4 quadruple jumps, 3 of them landed cleanly. He put his hand to the ice on a quad flip. And his attempt to become the first Olympic skater to land 2 quad Lutzes, the most difficult of the 4 revolution jumps being performed, came up short. His second Lutz was judged to have been under-rotated. Still, his score for the long program was a lifetime best of 192.16 points. His technical score was only 7 off Chen's and he moved into 2nd place overall, 21 points down. Zhou is definitely one to watch for 2022. Adam Rippon, the man with the killer ABS, was the final American to skate. A program without quads would make it difficult to finish high, but he wheeled out all his showmanship, including bird-like motions while skating to Coldplay's Arrival of the Birds. And he landed all those triples. Rippon skated with his accustomed elegance, but the jumping prowess of Nathan Chen and Vincent Zhou illustrated the gulf between his artistry and the bold athleticism needed to score highly under today's scoring system. With 6 more to skate, the American men can finish no lower than 7th, 8th, and 10th. This is the 4th time in the last 5 Olympics that all 3 men have made the top 10. The last time was 2010, when Evan Lysacek won the gold medal, Johnny Weir finished 6th and Jeremy Abbott took 9th. Dmitry Aliev, the 18-year-old Russian, was the first of the final 6 to skate and probably the least likely winner, with only 2 quads in his program. He wound up falling as well and can only place 3rd, though that's not likely. Jin Boyang of China was 4th after the short program and planned a 4-quad program set to the planets and the Cantina theme and other music from Star Wars. Jin delivered an almost clean routine, marred by 1 fall. His free skate score was lower than Nathan Chen's, but Jin had a 21-point lead over Chen after the short program. It adds up to a new leader by less than a point. Chen is back in second. Patrick Chan of Canada was sixth after the short program. His routine, set to Jeff Buckley's version of Hallelujah, had two quads, both right at the top. He landed the first and stepped out of the second one slightly. He also put a hand down on a later jump and had an unprovoked stumble. An always dignified skater, the 27-year-old Chan stood only in sixth. Next up, the leader and gold medal favorite, Yuzuru Hanyu. Yuzuru Hanyu of Japan, the world's most famous Winnie the Pooh enthusiast, had the gold medal for the taking, with the lead and a four-quad performance planned. He nailed the first three, but stumbled on the fourth, a planned quad single-triple combination. It might have been enough for the gold, but Hanyu threw in one more unplanned quad for good measure. One more small stumble came on a triple, but Hanyu laid down a strong performance that will make him hard to catch. Winnie the Pooh dolls rained down from the audience in the aftermath. Hanyu took over first place. His free skate score was 6 points lower than Chen's, but combined with the short program he claimed a 20-point lead. Javier Fernandez of Spain was fourth 4 years ago, but he put himself in position to get a medal this time. After a strong second in the short program, he delivered in his free skate to Man of La Mancha, completing 2 of his 3 planned quads. The last skater will be Shoma Uno of Japan, with the current medal positions Hanyu, Fernandez, Jin. The American Nathan Chen has slipped to fourth place. It all came down to Shoma Uno, who could get a medal and maybe even the gold if he nailed his 4-quad program set to Turandot. But he fell on quad number 1 and stepped out of a combo. It was good enough for second place, and Yuzuru Hanyu repeated as the men's Olympic champion. Bronze to Javier Fernandez.